Have you ever really thought about fevers? They're one of the most common things our bodies do, but the why behind them is this incredible story of tiny battles, secret messengers, and, well, an ancient superpower. So today, let's break down the mystery of the fever. Okay, let's get into it.
It's so weird, right? A total paradox. You're piling on the blankets, your teeth are chattering, you feel completely frozen, but the thermometer says you're basically on fire. That strange feeling, that contradiction, is actually the key to understanding exactly what your body is trying to do.
So, where does this whole journey begin? Well, like any great story, it all kicks off with some drama, an invasion.
When these little microscopic invaders, pathogens, find their way into your system, they basically trip a silent alarm. Your body's defense network, the immune system, immediately recognizes there's a problem and starts preparing for a full-on battle.
But how does your whole body get the message that it's time to fight? Well, the immune cells on the front lines have to send an urgent signal up the chain of command, all the way to the top, to your brain. And check out this word, pyrogen. It's super cool. It literally comes from the Greek words for fire and producing. So these are your body's fire starters. When your immune cells start fighting the invaders, they release these chemical alerts right into your bloodstream. It's actually a super smart and simple chain of events when you think about it. The invaders show up, the guards spot them, they send out the fire starter signal, and that signal goes straight to the main control tower. And that control tower, it's a tiny but super powerful part of your brain called the hypothalamus. Just think of it as your body's master thermostat. It handles stuff like hunger and sleep, but one of its biggest jobs is keeping your internal temperature perfectly balanced.
Now, this is the most important part to get. A fever isn't your body breaking down or overheating by accident. Nope, it is a deliberate strategic move. The pyrogens tell the hypothalamus, hey, we're under attack, time to change the game plan. And the hypothalamus responds by literally cranking up the body's target temperature from the usual 37 degrees Celsius to something higher.
And that one little decision to change the temperature setting, that's what causes all those weird feelings we get with a fever. Let's find out why. And here's where it all clicks into place, that whole feeling cold when you're hot thing. If your brain's new target is, say, 39 degrees, then your current 37-degree body suddenly feels way too cold. So your body does what it would do if you were stuck in a snowstorm. It shivers like crazy to create heat, and it pulls blood away from your skin to keep all that warmth trapped inside. And that's why you get the chills and shiver your way up to that new, higher temperature.
But wow, making all this heat takes a ton of energy. For every single degree Celsius your temperature goes up, your body's metabolic rate, that's how fast you burn energy, shoots up by about 10%, sometimes even more. That's a huge jump.
Think about that. It's a massive energy drain. Your body is basically running a marathon without you even moving. All of its resources are being redirected to fuel this internal furnace. So it's really no wonder that a fever leaves you feeling completely exhausted, achy, and just not hungry. All your energy is being spent on the fight.
But why bother with all this? Why spend so much energy? Because that heat, it isn't just a side effect. Oh no, it's a weapon. It's an ancient strategy that gives your body a serious advantage in the fight.
So a fever it's a brilliant two-for-one strategy. It fights the war on two different fronts. On one side, it creates a really nasty, uncomfortable environment for those invading germs, slowing them down and messing up their plans. And on the other side, it actually supercharges our own immune cells, making them faster and better soldiers.
So let's break down these superpowers. First, most germs are really picky. They love our normal body temperature. By raising it, we make it way harder for them to multiply. In fact, a fever can stop some viruses from multiplying by more than 200 times. 200! That's incredible. And at the same time, that heat gives our own troops a boost, speeding up our T cells and helping other immune fighters get to the battle faster.
And get this, it's not just us humans who figured this out. This strategy is ancient. Scientists noticed that when cold-blooded animals like lizards get sick, they can't make a fever on their own. So what do? They find the hottest rock they can and literally bake themselves in the sun to raise their body temperature on purpose. They give themselves a behavioral fever to get better. How smart is that?
Okay, so we've established that a fever is a good thing, right? It's your body fighting the good fight. But, like any superpower, it has its limits. There's a point where all that strength can become a problem.
Because while a normal fever is helpful, it does put your body under a lot of stress. Your heart has to work harder, you breathe faster, and you use up fluids more quickly. It's a huge strain, and that's why your body has safety limits it tries really hard not to cross.
The thing about heat is it doesn't really pick sides. If it gets way too high, we're talking above 41.1 degrees Celsius, it can start to damage our own important cells and proteins, especially in the brain. This is why the hypothalamus is so important. It doesn't just turn the heat up, it also makes sure it doesn't get out of control.
So next time you get that feeling, the chills start and you know a fever is coming on, try to remember what's really going on inside. It's not a malfunction. It's a feature, not a bug. It's the sound of your body's ancient defenses firing up. That fever is a sign that your immune system is healthy, active, and doing exactly what it evolved to do, turning up the heat to protect you.
And that's the story of a fever. We really hope this helped you understand what your amazing body is doing. Just remember, this information is for educational purposes only. If you ever have any health concerns, please be sure to talk to a healthcare professional.